right, welcome back, Algebra. This is your last video for the year. Hooray! We are going to have just a couple days to review something called elimination. We've already done this. We did it a while ago, but we've already done this. I believe we did this first semester, towards the end of first semester. The reason why I'm going back to this is because this is something that's going to be very important for geometry. Factoring and elimination are super important for geometry. We've already spent a ton of time on factoring. You've already had your tests at this point. So now I'm going back and just doing elimination to refresh your memory. Elimination, all right, it deals with system of equations. It's going to look something like this, all right? So you're just going to do these notes on your own paper. I don't have a note sheet for you. You'll have homework on this on Delta Math, and it'll be very similar to what we're about to do. If you recall, elimination looks something like this. You're going to have two equations. So something like negative 10x plus 9y equals negative 4. And right underneath it is 3x minus 9y equals negative 24. When we did this section last semester, you had elimination, you had substitution. Most of you preferred elimination. It's a lot easier. Remember, you want everything to be in standard form, and all of the homework will be in standard form for you, but remember in the past it wasn't. We had to maybe move some stuff around, but you want it to go x, then the y, then the equal sign, and then any numbers without. So these are already in standard form and they're already lined up. Remember what we did was we wanted to try and eliminate either an x or the y. It does not matter which one. When you do that, the goal is to get the coefficients to be the same number but opposites. So 5 and negative 5, 10 and negative 10, 6 and negative 6. All right, if you notice, this one's nice and easy because our coefficients for y are 9 and negative 9. They're already the same number but opposites. Once you have the same number but opposites, you add the two equations together. Negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7x. The 9y and the negative y cancel. Equals. Negative 4 and negative 24 is negative 28. And now we just solve for x. So negative 7 times x, divide to undo it. You're going to get x equals 4. Once you have x, we still need to go back and find y. I know you're used to just solving for x, but we do need y as well. So if you take this x, you're going to plug it into one of these two equations. It doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to do the negative 10x plus 9y equals negative 4. I'm going to plug the 4 in for x. So I'm going to get negative 10 times 4 plus 9y equals negative 4. So negative 40 plus 9y equals negative 40. Equals negative 4. To get y by itself, you want to do any addition or subtraction first. So you're going to add 40 to both sides. 9y is equal to 36. And then you can divide both sides by 9, giving you 4. So your answer is going to be 4, 4 as a point, 4, 4. All right, x goes first, y goes second. All right, then they also get a little bit more difficult. If you have something like negative 8x plus 6y equals 34, and negative 8x minus minus 4y equals 44. All right, again, the goal is to have the coefficients of either x or y be the same number but opposites. Notice that the coefficients of x are the exact same number. They are not opposites. So we're really close. Y is totally different. So let's see what our x is. We have a negative 8 and a negative 8. We want one of these to be positive. So it's your call on which one you want to make positive. Let's say we want to make the top x positive 8y instead of negative 8y. We're going to have to multiply the entire thing by negative 1. Because negative 1 times negative 8 will become a positive 8. So you're going to distribute the negative 1 to everything. Negative 1 times negative 8 is positive 8. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6y. Equals negative 1 times 34 is negative 34. The bottom equation we didn't have to do anything to. Sometimes you'll have to multiply both equations by something. Sometimes you get away with multiplying only 1. Now we can add them together because the x's are going to cancel. 8 plus negative 8 is gone. Negative 6 and negative 4 is negative 10y. Negative 34 and 44 is positive 10. And now we can divide by negative 10. 10 divided by negative 10 is negative 1. So we have y, but we still need x. Take the y, plug it into one of these. I'm going to plug it into the negative 8x plus 6y equals 34. You could plug it into the other one if you want. We've got negative 8x plus 6 times negative 1 equals 34. Negative 8x, this is going to be a minus 6 equals 34. We're going to add 6. You want to do any addition or subtraction first. So you get negative 8x equals 40. And then you can divide by negative 8, giving you x equals negative 5. As a point, this would be negative 5 comma negative 1. If you were to graph both of these lines, they would intersect at negative 5, negative 1. So hopefully this is kind of coming back a little bit. We'll do a couple others that are maybe a little bit trickier. Let's look at, this one. So we've got 9x minus 2y equals negative 50. And let's say negative 3x plus 7y equals 4. So for this one, we want to look and see what we want to cancel. Now you may choose to cancel x, I may choose to cancel y. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to cancel out first is fine. I'm going to cancel out my x's because if you notice I have a 9x here. I could easily make this negative 3x a negative 9x. And then those would cancel because we want them to be the same number but opposites. If you prefer to cancel out the y's, then I would make one of them positive 14 and one of them negative 14 because 2 and 7 go into 14. But I'm going to make this bottom into a negative 9x because negative 9x and positive 9x will cancel. This is already a negative 3. Negative 3 times 3 will give me negative 9. So I'm going to make sure I multiply the whole thing, not just the first term here, but the whole thing by 3. When I do that, I get negative 9x. 3 times 7 is 21y. 3 times 4 is 12. The top part isn't going to change at all. And once I have it all set, I'm going to add them together. Again, make sure you add. The x's are going to cancel. The y's, you're going to get in 21 minus 2, you're going to get 19y. Equals, and then negative 50 plus 12 is negative 38. From here, you can divide both sides by 19, and you get y equals negative 2. So we have our y, but we still need our x. I'm going to plug my y into the first equation. I have 9x minus 2y equals negative 50. I'm going to replace the y with a negative 2. Be careful, negative 2 times negative 2, that's a positive 4. So 9x plus 4 equals negative 50. I'm going to minus 4. You do any or adding or subtracting first. 9x is going to equal negative 54. And then divide by 9. You're going to get x equals negative 6. As a point, this would be negative 6, negative 2. Those two lines would intersect at that location. All right, I'm going to have you try one, I think, and then we'll call it a day because I think that's enough. So let me give you this problem, and after I write it down, you can try it. So let's say that you have 10x minus 9y equals negative 32, and 2x minus 10y equals 10. All right, so try elimination, eliminate whatever variable you want, and figure out what x and y are equal to. So go ahead and pause the video. So I decided to cancel out the x's. Since this was a positive 10x, I decided to make the bottom x a negative 10x. To make 2 into a negative 10, I have to multiply by negative 5. I have to make sure I multiply the entire thing by -5. So -5 times 2x is -10x. -5 times -10 is positive 50y. -5 times positive 10 is -50. The top equation didn't change at all, and now I can add them together. -10x and positive 10x, they cancel. -9y and positive 50y is positive 41y. -32 plus -50 is -82. Now I can divide by 41 and I get -2 for the answer for y. Then I took -2 and I plugged it into this top equation. I did 10x minus 9 times -2 equals -32. Just replace the y with a -2. This becomes a positive 18. Then you're going to minus 18, giving you -50. Divide by 10, you get -5. So as a point, it's going to be -5, -2. All right, good luck with your last assignment.